All right, so I'm going to share my screen. So today's topic is using the appointment scheduler in our system, and also then some of the other features that come with it, like the appointment reminders, landing pages, using templates, etc. So we'll cover quite a bit. We do have articles on each of these features, so be aware that that is available for you in the Help app. So if you go to the Help app, then you just search for appointment. You can see the appointment reminders, the appointment scheduler, etc. And next week we'll have the information on or we'll have the client work sessions where we'll actually do the work. You can follow along on this as everybody who is either in the trial or a client has access to creating these appointment calendars at least. Also, just note that in our training seminars and previous recordings page, I have uploaded day 2, so you can watch yesterday's video there, and day 3 will be up after this meeting sometime. Okay, so the benefit of having an appointment scheduler is that it can then just be a little link that you send out to your leads and clients, and then they can update and choose a time, and then that will get into their record. But if they're a new lead that doesn't have any record in our system yet, it will actually just create that new lead from the appointment schedule. So let's go to settings, and I will show you a couple of little things that we want to do first, especially because we're focusing on open enrollment here. I would say in settings, go to task and reminder categories and add a new category if it's not there already for annual review. So here I've got one for annual review, but if I didn't have one, I could add a new category. And you could just say annual review. And then you're going to create a task. It's going to be as a task. And the reason why you're doing this category specifically is so that way when you send out the appointment reminders, you can send out specific appointment reminders for this category. Another reason you might do a specific category would be for like if you speak multiple languages in your office. So annual review, English language, and then you could have another one in Spanish. And then that way that messaging for that category would be all in Spanish, for example. We're going to mark it as busy, so that way you don't get double booked. We have appointment outcomes, which just can help you track the success of your meeting. So whether the sale was made in that meeting, whether you need to do a follow-up meeting, etc. And I'll show you that in appointment reports later, how you can view that. But if you select the show appointment options, that will be available for you. You can also remove it from the calendar, which I would not do. And then you can choose the background color and the text color if you want to make it a specific color so that it's different from the rest. So you've got a lot of choices here. You hit create, and then that would be created. So that's just a little setup thing that you might need before creating your appointment scheduler. Then we go into the appointment scheduler itself. I'm in settings. You can do this at the user level in account my information, and then go to appointment scheduling, and the individual users can create their own schedules there. But if you're in an admin account and you want to do it in here, you go to settings, appointment scheduling. You can add a new schedule. You know, check it as enabled. You can disable it if you no longer need that appointment schedule. And then maybe you want 75 minutes for each of these appointments. We're going to choose that category of annual review. We're going to say when we want to start and end our meeting sessions, for what days. So maybe I want to work on Saturdays during open enrollment. The number of days to schedule. This is like what the availability window would be for them to choose from. So So usually I would put it as 14, so that way that you don't have really advanced bookings, but because this is specific to open enrollment, we're going to actually do quite a large range of days to schedule, because then we're going to say not before, I think is it November 7th or 15th? I can't remember. Anyway, so let's say November 7th and not after 1/31/2025. So this is going to be the date range that's actually used. Usually you wouldn't use this not before or after. It's only because we're talking about open enrollment season that you would use that. There might be other reasons for you as well, but that's why the number of days to schedule is going to be so large in this case. So that way people can schedule in early in those months. Days before first appointment. If it's Medicare, you're going to want to do 3, right? So that way you've got at least that 48-hour cooling off period covered. If you put 0, it would mean that they could book on the same day. So you might come in the morning and have an 8 a.m. appointment because they booked it at 7 a.m. So, just be aware that like if it's for ACA, which I don't think you guys have any cooling off period for that, you could just do 1 day before. But if it's Medicare specifically, you probably need 3 days before. Then you're going to give it a specific calendar link. This is just so that way you can have a custom URL for this specific calendar. So this might be Danielle's, oh, I can't use that, apostrophe AEP 2024. Okay. The sales blurb would just be like a little information on the calendar link itself, where it just says we're licensed in all states and whatever else you want to say. The instructions are more about filling out the form of the appointment schedule itself. So please provide your name, email, and phone as we have registered them in your profile with us. If you've made any changes, please use notes to let us know. The reason for this is, and we'll go into this when we talk about the templates. If you're sending out an appointment schedule link to your leads and clients and they already exist as records, if they fill out the appointment availability and they book an appointment with like a different name, like maybe a nickname, maybe their name is Nicholas Smith, but they write in Nick Smith, it will actually think it's another person. So we need to match against their name, their email, and their phone all together. So anyway, you can put that in. You can also say something to the effect of like, once you've booked your time, an email will be generated with a calendar link for the meeting, and you will receive a scope of appointment that needs to be filled out at least 48 hours prior to our meeting. Okay. Then we're going to choose our confirmation thank you page. This is pulling from our landing pages. So we have some defaults in there for you, like meeting confirmation. You can also put in your own custom URL if you have a website thank you page that you would rather use. So you would just click that box and then type in whatever your website is. But otherwise, you can just use our meeting confirmation. I'll show you later how you can edit our landing pages. Maybe this is specifically for phone appointments. So we'll put the location as phone, and maybe I'll also do that up here in my calendar link so I can differentiate between phone and in person. Maximum appointment slots. This should always be one, even if like their spouse might join or their child or something might join the appointment. You basically, this isn't allowing people to double book. So if you were going to have a seminar and you could have up to 75 people in that seminar that can book for that, you would put 75. But for one-on-one appointments, you're going to just put one. So that way you don't get multiple bookings for the same time period. Then you're going to say which user is going to be in this. Now, if you're not using the automatically create scope of appointment or ACA consent, you can actually have multiple users on the same appointment scheduler. Then it'll just check against all of those people's availability and then book with the first agent who's available. But if you want it to be agent specific, then you would just choose the user. You can also choose the additional data fields that you might want to add into this form. So this is going to be server 1 and then 2. And then the option here for automatically create a screen share room is only if you have enabled a very specific paid feature. And then here you can either automatically create an ACA consent or automatically create an SOA. So I'll choose SOA for this one. The default is English. The agent is going to be that same agent that this meeting is for. So that's why we needed that to be user specific rather than being a more general, option. And then we're going to choose their sales rep ID. Initial method of contact might be online scheduling. And then this is the holistic number pulling from your account my information section as the agent. So this agent's account my information has 15 organizations with 158 plans. You can change this though. So because you don't really know necessarily what their plans are, what their county is yet, you can then say, I will confirm the number of plans and organizations I represent once I have confirmed your zip code and county. I represent I don't know, 50 carriers with 1,000 plans in Arizona. Maybe that's the way to write it. I don't know, something like. So that's going to be the default for that SOA portion. And then you're going to hit submit. And now that's been created. So that's for the AEP phone. So now I've got this link. This is where my little sales blurb is on the left here. Hopefully you can see that we're licensed in all states. And I can choose a time. Now you'll notice my time zone for me as the lead in this case is Los Angeles. But there are all these like super early times. That's because the agent's time zone is on East Coast time. So that's why they've got all these early appointments. So it's going to show the time in the person's time zone. So that way it books it properly for them. Just like Calendly or something like that. Okay, so then they're going to book the time that they want. Then they're going to fill out the information. So Danielle Test, email, email.com. And then these optional ones, UHC, silver or better. I don't know, something like that. And then you're going to create the appointment. And then that's the landing page that they see. So your appointment's been scheduled. Please check your email or text message for details. But you'll notice up here on this landing page, that path is your account name.radiusbob.com/pages/meeting confirmation. that the landing page is truly just a landing page. It's not like a hosted website. Just so you see that difference. So that's why some people would prefer to use their own website custom link for that confirmation. Okay. So then you can keep on adding in other schedules for other, for phone versus the other location being, in person, etc. Then once you've done all of that, you'll also want to set up your appointment reminders. So you go to settings, appointment reminders, edit. You're going to add in a new reminder for the specific category of that annual review. And when the reminder is created, you're going to send them an email with the appointment details and confirmation. And let's definitely select add in that ICS appointment attachment so that they can add it directly into their calendar. And then we're going to send it to the record. Now you can also send it to the assigned agent or to a specific agent. But in this case, you want to send it to the record and then hit create. I've done a million of these, so I'm not going to hit create in this case. But then we want to send another one. So if I had hit create, now it's saved, and I'm going to add a new reminder for the same category, but this time it's going to be maybe one day before the appointment time. I'm going to send them a text, or maybe 3 days in the case of, open enrollment, right? So we'll say, dear first name. So we're going to create a text message here. So, hello, first name. I'm looking forward to our meeting 3 days. Or you can say on, and then grab the appointment date at appointment time. And we will meet at, and then that appointment location, which unfortunately I just wrote in as phone. But and you can word this the best way for you. And please ensure that you have signed your scope of appointment. Text me back if you have any hard time with it. Sorry, I'm not the most creative at this point, but you can massage this language. Basically, you're just trying to get them to sign that scope of appointment. And then you can add in your agent details. Thanks so much, agent name, right? So you're going to grab this agent name field and pop it in there. And then you're going to send this to the record and hit create. And again, you can keep on adding more reminders for the same thing. So again, I'm not going to hit create, but this time instead of days before, maybe I'm going to do 1 hour before. I'm looking forward to our meeting in 1 hour, right? So in one hour, we'll meet, we'll meet at this location, whatever you want to say. So you can add in multiple reminders for the same appointment via this appointment reminder system. Before I move on to like the email templates and the landing pages, are there questions so far? I don't see any in the chat. Okay, I'll keep going then. Okay, so let me do the landing pages first. The meeting confirmation page is there for you. You can hit edit and then just edit it here. So, if you don't like what we've written or the image, you can just replace it, change image, whatever you want to do there. And you do, one of the weird things in here is that you do, if you're going to use another image, you do have to click into the folder. So you can't just go directly from, oops, sorry, let me edit this again. So if I click here and I hit change image, like the file manager will just be read only until you actually select a folder to go into. And then you can just insert an image that you have, or you can search for a free photo. Very similar to our email builder, right? I like to have spacers above here. It just makes it look a little bit better. So that's just this spacer content element, and you just drag it there. So that way it spaces it better on the website. Rather than it just being like the text being right at the top of the website. So if I delete all these spaces, it would just look like it would be right at the top. So it would just look a little weird. So adding in that additional space does help. Okay, so that's how to update that landing page, and then you would hit update. But another thing that you can do is you can create a landing page specifically for people to go to choose which is the right appointment schedule for themselves. So once you've created the scheduling link, you could create a landing page that says, please choose from the appropriate calendar. So this would be for like a new client or a new lead, really. And you're going to paste in a specific one for new client phone, new client in person, and then another one, like maybe that URL that I just created was like that new appointment scheduler that I just created is the current client phone. And so I would pop in whatever that URL was. So you should copy and paste that, and then you paste it into here in this little link option. Same thing here, you just click into that button and then you paste in or type out, which you would never want to do, that URL. So you can see it here if I click on, oops. Okay. So that's how you would do that. You would just paste that link that way. This is defaulting something strange, but once you've done that, you're going to save that update, and I'm not going to save that update because it did something strange. You hit edit again. And now if I click in here, yeah, see how the link type is there and it says open web page. And then my appointment scheduler link is in there. Then once you've done that and made it all nice and pretty for yourself, then you just need to publish it. So just, it'll say no at first, and then you just click on the no to change it to yes. And now it's live. And so now you can use this URL in an email template for them to book the appointment. And so then all you need to do is click on the link, and then they go to the appointment calendar of their choice. So now I've copied my landing page for the appointment availability options. So now I'm going to go to templates, and I'm going to create an AP number 1 email. So that way I can have a call to action via email to all of my leads and clients. This is a template that should be in your account already. If you're the account owner, you will see it. If you're not the account owner, you probably do not see it. So if you need to speak with your account owner, all they need to do is hit make template available to all users, so that way the admins can edit it as well. And then they would hit save template. Okay, but anyway, so annual enrollment period is here. I've attached my availability calendar, blah, blah, blah. One important thing though is you should note that they should use the following information when they are sending the information to you. So name should be the way that you spelled it in their file. Phone is the phone number that you have for them. An email is their email address that you have for them. The reason why you're going to call this out to them is so that way they don't accidentally create themselves as a new lead. That way they'll just get their proper file updated with their new appointment. And then you're going to pop in that landing page in this appointment calendar, or I created an RSVP here as well, but let me just go here. And then that link is going to be my appointment calendar that or landing page, I should say, that I created. And then I'm going to save that template. And now I can use that as my first call to action in an automated workflow for that purpose. And we'll go into templates and automations, I think tomorrow's session, but just know that you can do that here. Another template that you would need to create is the appointment details and confirmation. We do have this as a default template for you, but you can edit it if you want. So if you want to use your agent profile image, you just need to make sure each agent has it uploaded in their account My Information section. Otherwise, you can just delete this and then you won't show the person's picture there. But then otherwise it says, hello, thanks for selecting a meeting with me. I look forward to meeting with you. Here are the details. Let me know if you have any questions or need to reschedule. And then it gives the appointment time, date, and location, and then your agent details. So very basic, but you know, you do need some kind of appointment detail and confirmation email to go with your appointment reminders. I know that this is a lot of information, so I just want to check in and see if you have questions. Yes, Vicky asks, do you need a URL for the confirmation page? You do need that URL for the confirmation page. But again, you can either use our landing page meeting confirmation, or you can create your own in landing pages, or you can create one on your website and use that URL. So if I'm back here in my appointment scheduler, I'm gonna edit. The confirmation thank you page is going to ask you to select a landing page, and you can just select from the list of what we have already. Does that answer your question, Vicky? Hopefully it does. Any other questions? It's a small group, so you can unmute yourself if you would rather. I'm sure I didn't make the most sense. I'm so sick that I definitely feel like I haven't been as organized as I usually am. But hopefully this made sense to you guys. Okay, so just a summary, since I don't see any questions. You'll go into either settings or account My Information, appointment scheduling, to create your appointment availability, add a schedule, determine the time frame, or how many minutes long it is, determine which category it is, your start and end date, which days you want on, the number of days to schedule. We're going to change this to a larger number so that way we can use the not before or after for the allowable dates for you to do these open enrollment appointments, right? And days before first appointment, we're going to have it as 3 if it's Medicare. We're going to have it as 1 if it's ACA, most likely. And then my calendar link, you're going to give it a specific link name. You can add a sales blurb, instructions, your confirmation thank you page, the location. We're going to keep it at 1 person per time slot. And then you're going to associate it with either multiple users or a single user if you want to use the automatically create ACA consent or automatically create SOA. You can also add an additional data fields if you would like to, and then submit. You're then also going to go to settings, appointment reminders, and build out those appointment reminders. You'll go into your landing page if you want to edit that meeting confirmation landing page, and you can also create an annual review landing page, so you can put multiple schedules up on the same page for them to choose from. So do they want a phone appointment? Do they want an in-person appointment? They can book on the various calendars, so that way they get the right location. And then you're going to also edit those templates, so that way you can have call to action for them to book the appointment, and then also the appointment confirmation email that would get sent out to them when they have booked it. The other thing I did want to show you is that if you did want to use those appointment outcomes, like I mentioned when we were looking at the task categories, you can go to reports, an appointment report, and then you can do, I don't really have much in this demo account for to show you, so I'm going to do a large range. But then if you did a detailed report, you could see all of the appointments that you'd booked for that time period. And then if you had an outcome of like sale made, you could see sale made, presentation, no sale, needs follow-up. You could have those outcomes from that actual appointment tracked. You can also edit our options that we've had as defaults for you. If you go to settings and you go to appointment outcomes, you can just edit, instead of sale made, you can change it to whatever you want. But we have some defaults in there for you, like missed appointment needs to reschedule, missed appointment and rescheduled, missed and doesn't want to reschedule, not interested, etc. So you can just hit add appointment outcome and then say quoted in appointment. I would assume that would be more like sale made, but I'm just trying to give you an example, and then hit create. So that's how you can do that. So, and if I go to my reminder categories, you can see that like you have that checkbox for that option of show on appointment options. So let me go back to my report. Just pull that again, because then what I can do is update one of those so you can actually see. So if I go to this person's task and I go to my completed tasks, and I can update this task, and I'll say that the sale was made. So my anticipated outcome was sale made, and I'm going to update that. Now, when I run that report, sorry, sale made, and then I hit save, not update, save. Okay, so then when I run that report, I would see that that appointment had my outcome of sale made is listed there now. So it is helpful, so that way you can see how many of your appointments are actually converting to sales, which is just a nice thing to do. So that way you can keep the status as like maybe appointment set, but the status of the client can be different than the status of the appointment. All right, so that's the appointment outcomes. Trying to think if there's anything else I should show you. I mean, just a little quick view. If you go into the calendar, we don't really have any meetings set yet, but here we go. Here's one. So you can always look at your calendar here in calendar, or like I did within that person's file, you can see their appointments in their task list here. And you can also do a connection if you have Google or Outlook. You can create an account My Information, and then if you go to Access, you can do a two-way calendar sync with Google or with Office 365. And then you're just going to choose your synchronization of which calendar to choose, and then the default category for that. I usually have like, it's like Google Calendar item or something like that. So you'll sync to this Google Calendar, and then you're going to set the default category as Google Calendar. So if it pulls in from Google, you know that it was created in Google rather than created in Radius. Still no questions? It's a lot. Okay, well, we'll leave it there. If you have any further questions, please let us know in the help app. And you can always search the actual help app for the articles. So if you just wanted to look for the article on appointment schedule, you can find it right there and then go and learn more about the details there. But this is available for you. All right, guys. Well, have a great day. And I will talk to you all soon. Bye.